This would be fucking horrible.
No, hell no.
On your nip?
Do not put that on your nipple.
All right.
Okay.
Ready to start shooting again.
What was the question? Oh, what's the best age to get tattooed? Just shout out a number.
25 to 30.
I would say 25. Maybe when your frontal lobe is developed, 25.
Like right when you have to get your own like health care. You get off your parents' plan?
13.
12. Well, I started when I was 15.
I mean, if your parents are cool, 16 is like...
Start regretting things so you can get used to making bad decisions so that when the decisions matter, you already know how to process them and make the right decisions.
Kind of fun cataloging, at least. I'm so glad those aren't hooked up to something.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And
I don't even think 18-year-olds should be able to get tattooed. I think you should be 25.
And a lot of people got mad at me. They were all like, I'm 16, I love my tattoos. And I'm like, that's great. I didn't say that you wouldn't love your tattoos. I just think it's a bad idea.
You know, do it 18, but do it when you're 100% sure you know this is what you want to commit to. Because a tattoo is not an accessory, it is a commitment.
I won't tattoo anyone under 18. I did it during my apprenticeship and like earlier on, I did do that, but I always had a bad experience with the parents when they came in to get tattooed.
It's the
There's always
parents.
more paperwork. I felt like I was constantly being hovered over and like lectured while I did it. And I was like, I'm just gonna wait till they turn 18 to tattoo them
or
again.
like the client will like it, and then the parents are like, actually, I don't think I like that there.
18 is the typical legal age. Even in states where it's legal to tattoo with parental consent under 18, I won't, my shops don't. It's just, be honest, like 18, we still don't really know what the hell we're doing.
My parents wouldn't sign off on a tattoo before 18 for me, so I had to wait. And I'm so glad I did, because like looking back on all my Pinterest boards of like ideas for tattoos, they're awful.
As someone who started getting tattooed at 16, it's a bad idea. I would look so much cooler if I had just waited until I actually like learned who I am and learned what I like, instead of getting just whatever my 18-year-old working a Wawa ass could afford, this big all over my arm. Why do you think I have so much black here?
I mean, definitely before you're 40. I'm 40 and I hate getting tattooed now, so do that. Get tattooed, get all your tattoos sometime between 22 and 36.
I think people should maybe hold off getting tattooed just a smidge when they're like 18, or like if you're gonna get tattooed, pick like not prime real estate, because you're gonna get some dumb shit. We all have dumb shit, that's fine, but like you don't want dumb shit as like your centerpiece. You don't want your dumb shit as like your chest piece. So like save your good spots for your like mid-20s to like mid-30s and beyond, and just get your dumbest stuff out of the way early and get it in places that aren't super important.
I don't know, if you want big stuff, maybe get it when you're younger, because every older person I've tattooed, they're always like, oh, I used to be able to sit so good, like now I can't sit for shit. Like,
supposedly the younger you are, the better pain tolerance you have, right?
That's true.
But I feel like if you're too young, you're making choices for your tattoo that aren't necessarily good choices for the rest of your life, you know what I mean? So like 18, you might be very motivated and have a good pain tolerance, but the stuff I was getting when I was 18, you know, I wouldn't get now, you know what I mean? Like I'd probably make different choices now.
Thank God for lasers.
So basically the best age to get tattooed at is as early as possible, because they told me to save space. When I get older, I'm gonna want space when I meet greater artists or whatever, but they do get more painful as you get older. And I kind of wish today that I got more back then and didn't listen to everyone and didn't save space, because I guess I had pretty decent artists in my life back then too, and it probably would have came out more consistent anyway as well. But for the most part, like they are way more painful now the older I get, so.
Some people that are older surprise you with how well they sit for a tattoo. Like some people could be
That's drugs,
50,
bro.
60 years old. It's not drugs.
That's drugs.
Makes you think it's on drugs.
That's drugs.
Like that lady who was 20 but 40 because of
Drugs.
the dope.
She doesn't feel.
You're probably right, yeah.
Or they went through like World War I, II, and like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, this tattoo's not gonna hurt.
Right, because they've been through so much.
How long
ago do you think World War I was?
I'm just saying, you know
was
what
a
I mean?
while
You
ago,
never
right?
know. They were getting tattooed, you know?
You know, I think about this actually sometimes because I have clients that are like in their 30s and they're just now getting tattooed. But I really love it when somebody comes in that's older, like in their 50s or upwards. Like you can tell that it was something that they really thought about and then they're just throwing themselves in. There's a woman in South Florida, her name is Cool Tat Granny, and she started getting tattooed at like 66, and she's covered now. And she's covered in work by my friends. She has a piece from me. Like, I love her so much. Literally, just in the span of like the past 8 years, she's just been getting big ass fucking pieces, and she's like, I'm tired of being a housewife. Like, I want to do what I want to do. And I'm like, that fucking rocks. Like, don't go out like thinking that you can't do the things that you were programmed not to do, especially older folk, you know, like there's a stigma to tattoos that people, especially here in New York, still live by. And it's because it was something that ruffians did, you know, it's something that gang affiliated people do. And so to change that around into embodiment as like self-esteem building, self-expression, that's awesome. Like, I'm so happy when people who are older than me, who are 2 generations ahead of me, finally are like, you know what, f it, I want to do this. That's the best.
You can always tell, like, when you see other tattooers, when they started working in tattoos. I feel like every tattooer has half, like, absolute dog shit, bottom of the barrel tattoos, and then, like, some of the most gorgeous tattoos you've ever seen.
There are a lot of decisions that I've made over the years that are reflected on my body, and you can learn a lot about my different life moments.
Phases?
About my phases, about that, yeah. You can learn a lot about me just by profiling me, or looking at me.
You can learn a lot about me by profiling me.
I don't think there's like a right or wrong age to get tattooed, but I do, and I think 16 is too young, 18 is too young, 25 is probably too young, maybe 26, and like maybe. Because I didn't start getting good tattoos until I was 26. I don't think you started getting any good tattoos until you were 26. And unfortunately, most people start on like their arms and legs. So my arms and legs, which are the most visible parts of me, are pretty f***ing mid, but like my everything else is beautiful, but nobody sees it, you know? So I just think for your own good, wait a little bit, but you're not gonna, and you're gonna yell at me on the internet because you're 16 and you love your tattoos, that's fine.
The best age to get tattooed at, for me, is obviously it's going to hurt less the younger you are. When you're 18, 19, 20, I think tattoos hurt a lot less. They hurt more as you get older. However, when you're 18, 19, 20, you're getting dumber tattoos. So as far as like better, what age is better, you know, it might be better for longevity if you're in your 20s. You know, of course, it's gonna hurt a little bit more than when you were 18, 19. But yeah, maybe like early 20s, late 20s is probably the best time to get a tattoo.
Hold off just a little bit and make sure you know exactly what you want, because like I feel like I didn't really know myself until my 20s started. Because when you're in high school, you don't know who the hell you are. You're not doing, you're not working. You're not really, you don't know who you are. You figure out who you are when you're in your 20s, and that way, you like when you get tattooed in your 20s, like you know you'll probably appreciate it a little bit more, and you won't like end up not liking it.
I mean, you're not mature enough. Like, I'm not even, and I'm 35, and I'm still like a 12-year-old inside of my brain, you know? I always take the worst decisions, and even in tattooing, like sometimes I'm like, what am I doing, you know? But I feel like when you are like 24 or something, you are mature enough to pick something that is gonna be worth it.
No, you should be free to make decisions, bad decisions as well, but I know that I'm very happy I didn't get any before I was 18, because they're stupid enough, the ones I got just then.
I got laser, so.
Do you ever take screenshots
Of what?
of, do you ever see like a good tattoo in porn?
All
And it's such
the
a you know?
Oh wait, in a
In a porno movie.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I haven't watched in a long time. I'm not impervious. I'm just kidding.
To the burnings.
I don't need it. But one day I will.
I do, because I'm a fucking loser.
No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm guessing this is not part of what's gonna be going on. This is not one of the topics. It
might be.
It might be, yeah.
How's that?
Is this good for the video?
A toothbrush in here.
Let me see what it looks like.
You fucking animal. You're a fucking animal.
Wait.